All right, K-Rock, Mid-Atlantic Rock Reviews, Marr Army Rock Show. I am here with Hugo, Sebastian, and Jaron of Tantric. Guys, welcome to the show.
Yeah!
So we are here in Houston, Texas at Warehouse Live, and very excited. Sold out show tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and ask, how's the tour going? It's Mudfest, and talk a little bit about the tour so far. And I've seen a lot of sellouts.
Yeah, it's been a good tour. I mean, we're all friends, so that also helps. All the shows have been really good. Great turnout, great audience, great diversity in bands, and so yeah, having a good time.
So, hey, Mercury Retrogrades are out now, if I can say retrograde without slurring that. Yeah, man. So, Mercury Gatorade, we just renamed it. So, hey, tell me a little bit about the making of the album, like how long it was in the works, where it was recorded, and who produced, that kind of stuff.
Well, the record is, it really didn't take us that long to record, maybe a couple weeks, right?
Yeah. All together, yeah.
But as far as the songs, they were all written within the last 2 or 3 years prior to it, along with a bunch of other songs that we had, and then we kind of pulled some other ones, and honestly, it just came together really nicely for no really purposeful, or no, it's not even our credit to bear, but we had
Chuck Outcazians.
Yeah, Chuck produced it, and he kind of brought brought it all together. We're really proud of it. We think it's a really great record, at least for Tantric. So we're as proud as we could be of it.
And then Jaron, Sebastian, talk about your entry. It was kind of your entry into the band, sort of, with that record, right? Talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, they. I mean, I didn't really give them any guidance. They kind of knew their parts, and they all put their own creative twists on it. So yeah, they played on the record, and they did a hell of a job, these fellas.
Talk about the experience, guys, of recording that record.
Well, Pearl Sound is an awesome studio up in Canton, Michigan, and Chuck.
It's great working with him.
Yeah, I think he brought the best out in us. We had a lot of joking around. As little time, I should say, as that we had in there for the week to record. There was a lot of playtime in there that I was nervous every day, thinking oh, we're not gonna get this done. But Chuck has a method to his madness, and I definitely think it came out better than I could have expected it to, at least.
Yes.
So, man, this band, this band kind of hit, in that whole, I guess you call it post-grunge or whatever, post-hair metal. And, how, was it an advantage or disadvantage coming out when you guys did? You were at an odd time where you could almost make your own little genre, for lack of a better word.
I don't know. I think it was the last of a bigger things and older ways of doing things as far as how records were sold and stuff like that. And in that aspect, that was a cool thing. I mean, I guess we're grateful in any aspect to be able to have a career of any amount of time in this industry, and ours has been almost 20 years, if not 20 years now. But I guess we're really grateful. But honestly, we live in the moment. I think we adapt as we go, and it's always exciting.
Now, talking about the new record, 2 songs I want to ask about. The first one was kind of the first single out, Letting Go. If I was going to pick one song that was, all bands evolve. You guys have evolved on this record. If I was going to pick one song that sounded a little more like the older music, it would be Letting Go. Yeah. Have you heard that from other people? And tell me a little bit about that song.
Well, that song was actually part of a group of songs that I actually written with the original Tantric years ago, and I wrote that song with Todd, the first guitar player, Todd Whitener. And so that record in that whole thing had gotten shelved, and amongst that song there were so many other great songs that we wanted to release, but we thought it would be a kind of a good testament to everything and kind of a full circle to just cherry pick that one and re-record it. And that's what we did, but we actually had Todd, he played some guitar on it and did some vocals on it as well, so it was kind of nice to just have a little bit of the old in there on that particular track, and I think that it lended itself to sounding a lot like the Tantric that a lot of people remember.
And then lyrically, the song that caught me was Before You Could Crawl. I wanted to ask what that song was about.
Well,
if you're allowed to
let me just tell you about this bitch. Well, it's basically it's about a guy. It's kind of like loosely based on some events that may or may have not been personal but basically it's kind of like a story of a perspective of a guy who's dating somebody that's significantly younger than them. You know, and always say, "Oh, before you could crawl, I did all those things," and it's pretty simple. But I leave songs lyrically open enough for people to be able to relate their own stories and stick their own characters in that and make them their own. But yeah, that song's got a personal meaning to me, and it should to you.
Now, when you guys joined, if today, what is your favorite song to play on the tour for the two of you? Because you've been playing them all forever, but what's your favorite song to play right now, whether it's a new one or an old one?
Probably Astounded for me.
Is there a reason? Why is it the song itself, or is it just because of what you get to do during the song?
No, it just has a great vibe, great vocals. It's fun to do.
I'd say the same, but for both of the reasons you named. It's fun physically, and also, it's got, not a ton going on personally for me, but it leaves a lot of room to vibe out with everybody, and it's one of my favorites in the discography as well.
So everybody's got a bunch of songs that I could play right now. I could play 2 seconds of, and everybody knows the song. You guys may be the only guys I know that have a song that starts with a violin part that everybody in the crowd will immediately know. So what I want to ask you is, when that song came out, did you know what you had? Did you have any clue what that was?
I thought I knew what I had, but everybody was like, "Oh, you're bringing violins? You're freaking crazy. This is never gonna work." And I was like, "I bet you will." And I wasn't that positive, but I did have a feeling that the song was going to be a monster, and then it became a #1 hit. So there you go.
Sebastian, I noticed a couple pictures recently of a double neck guitar. Is that a new addition? Tell me, or did I just miss it previously?
I had it out for 2 or 3 runs now. I don't even keep track of time anymore because we're constantly.
So for the amateur concert goer here, which I guess I'm not an amateur concert goer, but I'm not a musician. What's the purpose of the double neck guitar, other than I guess just 2 sounds? Or talk a little bit about it.
It's 12 string up top, 6 string on the bottom. So it's just every string is doubled, either with an octave or just the same string. So it gives it just sort of chimey effect. So it makes all the clean stuff, all the acoustic stuff on the records and whatnot. If I play it through that,
we used a lot of 12 string on the record on top of it, but it's a really good way of him not having to have an acoustic 12 string on these frames.
On a stand, and it has to have to move it and whatnot. I can still switch right back.
But it is a crowd pleaser because people like to see it.
It's great for pictures. People look, it's rare to see them and whatnot. Yeah. I was just sitting around my dad's closet for years, and he wasn't playing it, so I was like,
So it's old. Tell me about the guitar. It's an old guitar.
Oh yeah, I think he got it. 85 or 86.
Oh wow.
He said.
No, that's not old.
No,
that's not old.
I just
for some of us in the room, right?
It's old enough that it was white, now it's yellow. So it shows its age. But he got into this first NAMM show. He just was like, "Hey, can I borrow this or just try it out on my next tour?" I think it was the Heartbreak Station tour. And then he did, and I think he went to pay for it. Called the guy, and he didn't even work at Gibson anymore. So I was like, "Oh, okay, I just got this sick double neck for free."
Nice. Now you kind of
Exactly. Like, hey, let me borrow that.
You're like, I'm calling you to pay for. I'm not calling you.
I'll pay you the same price you paid for it.
Yeah.
I'll give you a nickel over.
I know the cost of doing music videos these days, and you got the one music video out now. Is there talk about doing another video for this record, or no?
Yeah, we were going to do Angry, time permitting, but we've literally been on tour the entire year into this entire year, so there's really not much time, and also, labels don't really want to pay so much for that kind of stuff, so a lot of it's figuring out how to do it on your own budget, and at this point, I think a live show every night is kind of taking precedent over a recorded video for the moment, but
we would like to do it because it's another way to be creative in another mode, obviously, not just musical, but to be able to intertwine and actually be able to do it with somebody that's creative, and you can intertwine visual with music. It's super cool when you do it right. But we haven't done it right yet on this record, at least.
So what's the rest of the year have? How much longer are we on Mudfest, and then what's up next? You're touring all the way through.
We have some headline stuff between, but it's Mudfest all year, possibly Europe in the late half of the year, and we got some festival type things.
We tour a lot.
You do.
Yeah. We're probably the most touring band out there.
we fill the gaps. That's all I'm trying to say.
But that's because we have no lives, and all we, like our lives is this.
This is what we wanted to.
Like when we're not doing this, we're like, dude, our life sucks right now.
Why are we home?
Why are we home? We should be touring and doing 200 gigs a year.
Well,
So we do that. It's good that nobody likes us other than us.
well, we've had a blast watching you guys over the years. We're going to continue to watch you. The album's Mercury Retrograde. It's out there right now. And Mercury Gatorade. We renamed it during the interview here. And how much longer is Mudfest? It's still so Mudfest itself, not just the tour, but this tour. This group. So keep an eye on. Just go YouTube or Google or whatever you do to find your stuff. Mudfest. You'll find the tour, man. It's going all over the place. So hey guys, thanks so much for being here. It's always a pleasure, man. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.